My fiancée called me and invited me to her wedding with another guy. Upon graduating from high school, I embarked on a journey to the United States to pursue my studies abroad. After completing 3 semesters in the English program, I found myself on the cusp of transitioning to other subjects at the university. As was my habit, I arrived early for my final English class, seeking solace in solitude before the bustle of the day began. Despite projecting a different persona to others, my inherent shyness often kept me reserved. Gradually, my classmates filtered into the room, engaging in lively conversations and forging connections. Meanwhile, I remained quietly seated, feeling too self-conscious to participate. Suddenly, a knock at the door heralded the arrival of a new student who had been placed in our class after excelling in a placement test. With confidence and ease, she introduced herself to the group, leaving a lasting impression. During the lecture, this new student unexpectedly turned her gaze towards me, offering a warm smile before redirecting her attention to the teacher. This brief interaction left an indelible mark on me, sparking a sense of intrigue and curiosity. As the class drew to a close, our teacher informed us that we would be assigned group projects, and I was paired with the girl. Internally, I was filled with anxiety, unsure of how to approach her. To my surprise, she confidently approached me, introducing herself with a warm, "Hi, my name is T. Nice to meet you. Your name is A, right?" Overwhelmed with nerves, I could barely utter a word, simply nodding in confirmation. "Let's meet at the library at 4 p.m., she suggested, and again, I nodded in agreement. After classes, I grabbed a coffee and made my way to the library. Quickly scanning the room, I spotted her. She was friendly, and as she finished discussing her class, she began sharing ideas for our project. Seeking my input, she looked at me, but I found myself unable to speak. I excused myself, stepped outside for a cigarette, returned, downed my coffee in one go, and suddenly found the words flowing from my mouth. Without even realizing it, I was actively engaging in conversation and sharing my opinions on everything she had said before I knew it. After realizing how much I had been talking, I caught her smiling at me. I blushed and fell silent. "What's in that coffee?" she asked with a smile. "I think this is the first time I've heard your voice," she continued. "Oh, I don't like to talk too much because people might misunderstand my words," I replied. That moment marked the beginning of our relationship. We ended up living together for 4 years. Eventually, I proposed to her, and her yes made me feel like I was in heaven. However, I explained to her that I wanted to seek the approval of her parents as per my culture. "I need their approval, your mom's and your dad's," I told her. She agreed and called her family. First, I spoke with her mom, and she seemed impressed by my immediate and sincere responses. Then, I faced her dad. Knowing he might be resistant to his daughter marrying a foreigner, I laid out our future plans, where we would live, and how our children would be raised in detail. Despite a grueling 2-hour interview during which he gave me a hard time, he finally agreed. "Both of you still have 2 more years to finish your degrees, so the marriage will happen after that time," her father stated firmly. "Sir, I'm deeply in love with your daughter, and I want to marry her right now," I replied earnestly. Suddenly, he became outraged, causing his daughter to burst into tears. Concerned, I hung up the call and looked at her with worry. During the summer vacation, she informed me that she would return to her country to try and convince her father. I advised her to take care of herself and keep in touch. She will be with her family after so long, and I don't want to intrude, I thought. 2 months later, I received a call from her and answered it with a smile, but my expression turned into concern when I heard her crying on the other end. "What's wrong, sweetie? Is everything okay?" I asked. "Please come to my country as soon as possible. My wedding is next week, and I want you to come," she said. Tears welled up in my eyes, and I hung up the call, feeling like I was in a very dark place, especially after finding out who the groom was. I phoned her, pleading with her not to marry the man because I knew him and was aware of his unsavory character. "You know how much I love you and that I would do anything for you. Please, marry anyone else but not him," I implored. Shortly after, she called me in tears. "He's threatening to divorce me and take my baby away. Please help me, A." I was lost in thought, wondering how I could possibly help. I comforted her and became her confidant, providing a listening ear as she poured out her heart to me about her life and all her troubles. She once expressed a desire to reconcile, but I declined, explaining that my heart had not yet mended. She still reaches out to me from time to time, and every conversation stirs up emotions in me, but I am hesitant to revisit that path. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.